जा रहे हैं. उसके बाद, we are all busy with family. We have to cook. Even if there is a cook at home, you have to supervise. Many of us have children, so you have to monitor that. But what I have seen is all in the mind. If you start, actually strictly in your diary, I'll tell you how I do. Rather than saying what should be done, I'll share what I do. Well, I wake up in the morning and I jot down my calendar. So I put down the timings as to what I have to do when. And there is a compulsory me time in that. And that me time for me is actually either reading or binging Netflix. Funny, but I really do that because that is my way of unwinding. And if I do not, I will not be able to keep my sanity. So what I do, and that is the time even my daughter, though she's barely 6, she knows this is the time mama doesn't have to be disturbed. This is mama's time. So I tell her, just like you have your playtime, this is mama's time. And mama is going to enjoy herself. But her question was that, Mama, you're not enjoying. You're just watching something or you're reading something. So I said, yeah, that's how mama enjoys. When you become a mama, you'll realize.
Correct.
So, I feel if all of us, just like, when we work, we jot down, we put down timings, we have meetings, we put it down. So why don't we also put down the me time? It's very, very important. And that me time, when anybody says, are you free at 5 o'clock? No, I'm not. I have an appointment. And that appointment is with yourself. So I think putting it as a mandate in your daily calendar is when you cannot even, you are not, and no compromising on that. So unless there is an emergency that is not in anybody's hand, but that particular time, every single day has to be your time. Again, balancing, so family time. So weekly time, Sunday is in my calendar is family time. I do not take any professional meetings. I do not do anything. It is strictly family time for me. So I feel at times, where we lack, we bend a lot. You know, we are asked, are you free? Even if we know that is our time, even if that is the time, I just want to just relax or stretch at that time. We still say, we are free. Why? We're not free. We have an appointment with ourselves. So,
Correct.
We have to be strict. We have to be assertive. We have to realize the importance of self. We are doing it all. But just like a laptop, if you run it from morning to night and don't give it rest, it's going to pop up. Your phone, it's going to get discharged. So we women also need that little recharge, right? We need that fuel to keep us on. And yes, we are so wired is we can multitask, but nobody should expect us to multitask. Yes, we are doing it because we like doing it. If we do not like to do something, we don't like and we will not do, period. I will not take up something if I'm told and I'm strong. Maybe I appear, I may sound like a strong-headed woman. But in today's world, this is how we all need to be. If we do not respect ourselves and our time, nobody will respect it. We have to grab it. Nobody is so compassionate. Nobody is so understanding. And and we have to balance it, right? We know we have to balance it. So we only when we give time and importance to ourselves will we start enjoying the other hats that we don. So this is how I do it. I am very strict with my me time. I am very strict with my family time. I am very strict with my nap time. Nupur, you know that. So I tell her this is the time where I just take my power nap, and I take it. Unless the sky is going to fall, nobody's going to wake me up during that time. And I'm very strict about that. And that's, I mean, that keeps me charged through the day because I really do need it. And well, I think this answers a little of your question.
This is actually very powerful because most of the time, and this is taking out and writing that time with myself in the to-do list makes a lot of difference because it's, but here is a question right from that question: how do you convince yourself that I cannot bring in anything, because this is a personal challenge as well sometimes that I face, that अच्छा ये तो मेरा टाइम है तो मैं इसको सुपरसीड कर सकती हूँ, किसी और commitment से, or any work commitment, because this is just my time. How do you draw that balance? Because as a woman, we always, like you said, we always tend to do that.
The thing about we humans, we really fall into a habit. So initially saying no to something, or initially putting your foot down for something, when it is your own time or your own right, may be a little difficult. But when you start doing it day after day, it becomes a part of your life. It becomes
Absolutely.
your habit. And habits, when they become, we all know that it's very difficult to get rid of habits. So why not have this me habit? This me habit is very beautiful. It is very powerful because it actually helps you, realize how important you are for your own self. You're not here to please anybody, but it's important that you feel important. Every day in the morning when you look at the mirror, you have to realize it's me and I am me, and nobody can replace. Nobody can force me to do something. I will do what I think is right. I will do what I enjoy. So today's, thinking, I feel somewhere we all are, it's a cat race, right? सबको आगे बढ़ना है, सबको किसी को कुछ बनना है. Somebody has to rise in their career, somebody has to come in the limelight, somebody has to, there's competition, you know even our little children have peer pressure. That's the funny part. My little daughter, she's 6, and she told me, mama, see, Bhuvik, he knows so much. He's even started doing 2 numbers addition. So I taught her and said, it's okay, Kyra, you learned 1 number, right? So when the right time comes, we'll do the 2 number also. You can don't stress it out. So that's why, if I can tell that to my child, I need to tell that to myself. I will not stress out. And I think we women need to tell that to ourselves every single day, saying, I love what I'm doing. I will not stress out. I am important for myself. I am living for myself. I am doing what I enjoy and what I love. So, people say I word is very selfish, but I think I word is a word is very powerful. You've heard that proverb, right? मैं हूं तो सब कुछ है, मैं हूं तो तुम हो
Right.
तो सब कुछ है, right? वो वाला है. I think I'm not saying it exactly the right way, but the crux is like, if I am there, you're there. And if we are there, everything is there. So unless you are there, how can it work? We ourselves agree. We have, we are the backbone of the family. We are the backbone of the house. And we become the backbone of the office too, because women are very dependable. And that's where they are exploited. That's where they are overworked. So I think we as women, especially today being International Women's Day, we need to learn to put our foot down. We have to learn to say no. We have to learn to say, yes, that's it. I've done my bit. So yes, Nupur, that's how I do it. I try to make it, it may sound very easy. It may sound as if I'm just saying it, but it becomes a habit. Believe me. Once you start putting your to-do list, add your me time there. Me time. It has to be there every single day. You live. You may, like you're saying, you may think, yaar, I had that writing work. What? I have that 1 hour. Why don't I just squeeze it there and finish that work? No. You have your meeting time. You have your meeting time with your inner soul. Isn't that the most important thing? So you cannot squeeze anything there. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days may be difficult. But once you stop doing it, it becomes a habit. I hope I've answered your question.
Absolutely. And that actually, so one of the challenges I think people have also, because when you said that, convincing yourself on staying true to your me time is very, very important. But one of the question that I have is, how do you convince your family? How do you convince your support structure? Because it's not just you, uh, it is also people around you who need that kind of so it's like at that particular time what they are seeing is that sometimes what we don't realize it how. So basically, yeah, that's a question. your family, your support structure, they need to be convinced कि हाँ ये इसका time है, छोड़ दो इसको. You are on mute, Ajuli.
Okay, so yeah, good one, Nupur. So true. But I feel, before you need to convince yourself, if you can convince others, if you can convince yourself, 70% of the job is done.
True.
The moment you convince yourself, and you have, I'm just saying, a simple nap time maybe, 3:30 to 4 is your nap time. And come what may, your family, your office people, even your husband should know that that is your nap time, and that time is your time where you need to just relax. Yes, again, the same way, like it takes a little while to fall into the habit, it will take others around you also a little while to fall into the habit, but they too become a part of this habit. They
True.
also start understanding that this is, see, don't we have bosses in office? The meetings are scheduled as per the boss's calendar, right? So boss knows his calendar, and we also start knowing our boss's calendar. We know this is the time I can't disturb him because he has an on-site meeting at this time. So I cannot schedule anything during that time, right? So in the same way, at home, our husbands, our children need to know this in mama's calendar, this is her time. So this is the time where it is do not disturb time. So slowly, even they start falling into habit. And it's funny, but I mean, in my house too, Nupur, if Sumit, if anybody calls and says, when can I call Ajuli? No, don't call her don't call her from 3 to 4. Huh? She will not be available that time. So he has also understood this is my nap time in my calendar, and he cannot. Okay, 7, I watch a Bengali serial, 7 to 7:30. And the funny part is, my mom got me into that regime, and she taught me that I used to tell her, Mama, my God, I've got so much to do. Ab baith ke main serial dekhu, kya baat kar rahe ho? She said, just sit, see how it will change your thinking. See how you'll feel after you go back. See how you'll enjoy the rest of your chores. I started doing that. So my mom is here since December. No, not December. Yeah, December. It's March now. Every single day from 7 to 7:30, I have been watching that serial. It's fallen into my calendar. It's a habit now, and I love it. And Nupur, Sumit doesn't call me during that 7 to 7:30. He calls me at 7:35 asking me, has your serial got over? So
Beautiful.
it's not about anybody around. The moment you start understanding the importance of your time, your calendar, yourself, everybody else will respect it. It's not difficult. It just needs that conviction that yes, this is important for me. And people who love you, people who are around you, they also understand this particular thing is important for that person. So slowly, no convincing will be needed. It will fall in place.
I think when you just kind of gave the metaphor of a boss, I think it struck me. You are your own boss.
Exactly.
You kind of decide your timetable, and the other follows. So hats off to you, Julie, and that was very powerful takeaway for me here, and I know for everybody who is joined today. But that scheduling a me time, ensuring that we stick to it, and ensuring that we are very, very true to what we believe. And the fact that we have to give people time to adapt to our schedules, but then they will, because we are convinced of why we are doing it, makes all sense. Your final, as we approach the end, your final 2 cents on the same, Julie.
My final 2 cents, especially on Women's Day, is don't feel guilty about your me time. Me time is your right. It is your right, because when you have your me time, you will start feeling, the worth of you being there, and which is the most important thing. You'll start loving everything else. Then, doing all the chores, multitasking, like we say, it will not look as if you're burdened with it. You will love doing it. I mean, I'm doing multiple things. And, I am asked, how do you balance everything? But little do people know, I do my Netflix binging also. I do my napping also. I have my fun time with my daughter also. But everything is scheduled. So schedule your me time just like you schedule your meetings. And life is all set. When this becomes a habit for you, the whole world gets habituated to it. That's it.
That is super wonderful. And thank you, Ajuli. Thank you so much for joining in. Please stay on because we have another announcement that with us, both of us. So, yes, and we will, I will quickly now share some of the shares that we have from our participants who have shared their insights on what they think about me time. So, just give me 1 minute. Is it audible for everyone?
Yeah, you are audible.
एक कहाँ गया पूरा
Can't hear anything, Muthu.
oh is it एक minute. let me share this. Now can you hear this?
No, no sound. You need to increase the volume there at the bottom. Make it 100. Not audible, Muthu. I don't know if others are able to hear.
Is the voice too low?
Yes.
Okay. The basically no voice. Okay. I don't know why there is no voice. Uh, hmm? Share the queue, yeah. This is shared. नहीं आ रहा. एक मिनट इसमें ना एक और वो होता है. I'm just gonna give it one more try, and if it doesn't happen, then I'm gonna probably not try. Hmm. ऑडियो का कुछ होता है इसमें. हाय हाय. have no idea why it's not working. It worked yesterday. Yeah. So I think what the participant wanted to share was that she had a tough time after pregnancy, and where she was not able to manage the me time and time for herself. But later on, when she realized how important it is, and now she kind of ensures without guilt that she's able to take time for herself. So that is what the presentation, and that is what the session is all about. Her share is all about, and being guilt free, being why it is important to have me time is also what she has shared as part of her share. So
Earlier, I mean, like she feels guilty that why she's not able to do all the things and all. But later on, she realizes that yes, like, if I would not take out time for myself, then it would be more difficult to do other tasks. So, this only, like, she wanted to explain this audio.
and which is also pertinent from the perspective that when people understand that, like very exactly what you said, that unless we pay attention to our needs, we will not be able to do justice to others, and result in burnout. Any questions that people have right now, any shares that people would like to have, they're most welcome to share right now. So very quickly, if anybody wants to share something, um, I would welcome you to.
Ma'am, I just wanted to know, like, as you were saying that, I mean, convincing yourself, taking out me time for yourself, and like, it will convince others. But like, if you are living with the laws, who have a, that kind of thinking, like, okay, or like, I would say like this, like, you know, if I started right now, earlier I was not doing, if I started right now, okay, now it's my me time and all. So, husband understand, your kids understand, but how to convince them? Because, they have set of thinking, like, why? I mean, we haven't taken any me time. जब हम पहले थे, हमें तो जरूरत नहीं पड़ती थी. Why you need it right now? तुम्हें क्यों जरूरत है? और जब तुम कुछ कर नहीं रहे हो, you are housewife, you're not doing, like, you're not going out or anything, like, but why you need it? हमें नहीं, हमें जरूरत नहीं पड़ी, तुम्हें क्यों जरूरत है? That kind of set of thinking which they have, like, it's very difficult to change the thinking what they, or what the perception they have. So, like, just wanted to, ask you how to change the thinking of
Yes,
the,
I
yeah,
got it. I got it in a very genuine question.
yeah.
So, for your information, I stay with my in-laws. I stay with my father-in-law, and yes, yes, it is very difficult to convince because the way they have lived, or the era, the world that they have seen, it has
Mm.
been as per a law that has been put forth. But see, if you look at the way the world is changing, unless we start voicing, unless we start believing, unless we start working towards it, it will not happen. So, like
Mm.
I'm saying, it goes the same way with anybody's in-laws also. They may find it very, look at her. हाँ कितना इसका इतना काम कर रही है सुबह से इसको कि अब इसको
हाँ, जरूरत
रेस्ट
है.
चाहिए, हाँ इसको
Mm.
रेस्ट चाहिए, हमने तो
Mm.
किया ही नहीं है. दिस इज द क्वेश्चन दैट
And that too, like, we didn't have maids and all. You have got all the facilities, you are getting the maids and everything, then still you need a time for yourself.
okay. So you don't, for me, from my point of view, of course, it's everybody has their own point of views and perspectives. From my point of view, you don't owe anybody an explanation. If it is important for you, it is important. Period. It is important. And the moment you start, बोलने दो, सबको बोलने दो, no problem. The moment you start doing it, and after your me time is over, you go back doing your chores with a little smile on their face. एक दिन grumble करेंगे, 2 दिन grumble करेंगे, 4 दिन 5 दिन, some people may even take 7 days, but after that day they have no choice, वो smile करके accept करना ही पड़ेगा. So don't give an explanation. The moment you start giving an explanation for your me time, you know, you are initiating a war. Because वो वहां से बहस होगी, यहाँ से explanation जाएगी. Why all that? You're not doing anything wrong. So first thing, take away the guilt. So the moment you take away the guilt from your mind, कि मैं जो कर रही हूँ वो सही है यार, मुझे चाहिए, तो क्या हो? I need it. It's important for me.
True.
Accept it, don't accept it, doesn't matter. I am doing it because it's important for me. And like I said, you know, yes, your daughter, your children may accept it in 1 day, your husband may take 4 days, your in-laws may take 1 month. But don't give it up. But don't give it up, because that me time will actually shape your being. It will give you sanity. It will give you happiness. I have realized it. You
Yes,
know,
of course.
कभी you know, मेरा me time तभी जाता है जब कभी hospital का round करना हो, या नो कोई emergency आ गया. So it, you know, I start feeling restless, and I realize how important that me time is for me. Though I would have given it up because it was, you know, I had to do it. It was not to compromise, but because it was that need for the art. But it has become so much a part of my habit that I miss it. And after my me time, that little nap or that little series on Netflix, I'm so charged. फिर बोलो ना मुझे 10 काम दो, मैं हंस के कर दूंगी. You know, so even they will accept. So first thing, don't feel guilty. Because what you are saying now, there's an element of guilt in you. A guilt that is saying, भाई मेरे पास नौकर चाकर भी है, मैं घर पे हूँ, फिर भी मैं ये टाइम अपने लिए ले रही हूँ. So when you are guilty, how can you sound convincing, look convincing to others? So first thing, be sure of yourself. Convince yourself that this you are doing because there is no right or wrong. It's you need it. That's it. What?
True. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Wonderful. And I think this is the conviction that people need to be convinced that, yes, I need it and I will work on it. So very quickly, I'm going to go back to the presentation here again and share the big announcement that we had. So just some, and also to include your points as well, that me time is not running away from responsibility. It is like recharging the batteries before we collapse. Me time can be different for different people. It does not have to be one set of me time. For all, it can be reading, shopping, sleeping, chatting with friends, hiking, playing, binge watching Netflix. All are equally valid. Be guilt free. And I would also, I also take this, sorry, trying to add here of your input of adding me time
In your to-do list.
huh.
Every day, which means
scheduling
it every day.
me time. Scheduling me time every day. Time with yourself. Every day.
And believe me, this is the most important meeting of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, this should come as a first point here, because for me, this is the biggest takeaway that I think people should have from here, that if you schedule one time with yourself, half an hour, 1 hour, that guilt-free time, biggest time, that guilt-free time that people should schedule, I think everything will be sorted. The next announcement, and the big announcement that we would like to have, is that in collaboration with Dhwani Innovation, and you, who is the CEO and co-founder of Dhwani Innovations, Facilitating Excellence, announces the launch of weekly listening platform for women. Now, the idea that we want to do is this platform is called Sparsh. And this we have been trying to do with an intent of creating a platform. It will be a Zoom-based platform, and the details will be shared on different WhatsApp group that we are a part of. The objective is to provide a safe space for women to come and discuss and share their views and opinion about everything. So how do you feel? We all get overwhelmed at certain point of time. This is a platform where we can just get a listening ear to whatever we are facing, a place to unwind. That's it. um, this is just also to reiterate, listening is only a form to give support to fellow women in times of need for a friendly ear. But it is not a way to replace counseling needs in case need be, or and we will definitely connect the women to our panel of specialists. So this is the announcement that Sparsh will connect, or and also in coming future have a panel of specialists of trained psychologists and psychotherapists. Our weekly meetings will start from next Wednesday, uh, and we at the end of the session will this weekly month women's week will also introduce as to when we can start this. A group uh, between 5 and 6, link will be shared. So you can definitely, if interested, you can contact Minnie, you can contact me, you can contact Ajuli for if you want to become a part of this initiative, and if you want to join it on a regular basis. Any inputs, any views are welcome from all participants here on the same. Uh, Taking on tomorrow's session, we have, and as we were discussing, who is a working woman, we'll be joined by Dr. Mahalakshmi Reddy, a very another esteemed person. She's a scientist. She's an academician, and now she's an entrepreneur who is working in a very, very niche area. And the discussion will be around how we define working woman. Is it only confined to person who is employed, and is that what makes working woman working? So please come and please stay tuned for tomorrow's session as well. Same time, 4 o'clock. I end with the same session that we have, same quote that I quoted yesterday. I am not in this world to live up to your expectation, and you are not in this world to live up to mine. So be your own boss, as Ajuli said. Let people run by your schedule and not the other way around. Thank you so much, Ajuli, and all people who have joined this session. Thank you. I will now end the session, and I hope
And
that
last word, Nupur, thank you so much for this opportunity. It was beautiful.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so
You
much.
must keep doing things like this, because I think, and to add on to the to Sparsh, see, we always complain, don't we, saying कि यार मेरी कोई सुनता ही नहीं है.
Correct.
सब बोलते हैं मेरी तो कोई सुनता ही नहीं है. So this Sparsh is for, we are going to listen. No judgment, nothing. You won't be judged. We will not even give our opinions. We will just hear. So it's just a platform where you can vent out. It's a safe place and you will not be judged. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ajuli. Looking forward, and whenever you want to be a part, please do join. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for joining in. I'm quickly going to end the meeting now.